Kenya has been identified in recent times as one of the countries to watch in Africa as far as technology and innovation goes. Dubbed the Silicon Savanna, Kenya is rising fast as a technology powerhouse on the African continent, and more so, in fact, in sub-Saharan Africa. Joining us now for a look at innovation in Kenya in the technology space, specifically Samuel Gachuru, the director of the Nairobi Incubation Laboratory. As we say, it's also called NALAB, and it was opened back in 2011 in Nairobi. Samuel, tell us what you offer technology professionals and entrepreneurs, all the startups that come to you.
Thank you very much. Well, as you've mentioned, Nairobi is growing very, very fast. There's a lot of startups coming up, a lot of good ideas that have been happening in the last 2012. So we could narrow down to any particular idea, but most of them are mobile and web technology ideas.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, from your perspective right now, I mean, as you say, there's been a big growth in technology startups, and as a result, those that offer services to startups are, coming through in Nairobi. You've got 88 mega something MPH, Innovation for Africa. Equity Bank's got their innovation center. You've got yours. There's iHub. Do you think competition when it comes to companies like yourself is a good thing for the industry?
Actually, I have to admit that there is a bit of competition, yes, but it's very, very positive. Last year, 2011, when we tried to ask for applications for startup, we only got about 50. In 2012, we got over 250 applications. That goes to show there's a really, really big chunk of people that are out there who are trying to look for incubation and innovation hubs to work in. So we definitely are welcoming even more innovation and incubation labs in Nairobi. Of course, we have the 88 MPH, we have the amazing Growth Hub, we've got the iHub, we've got the iLab Africa, we've got ourselves, the NILAB. If the NILAB itself received 250 applications and 88 MPH received about 300 applications, and between the two of us, we could only accommodate 10 to 15 applicants for the whole year. I guess there's a big market. I guess there's a lot more people, there's a lot more need for startups and incubation hubs in Nairobi.
So there you go, you're only able to accommodate 10 to 15. Do you also offer financial help there, or is it just expertise that you bring to the party?
Well, NILAB plays a role at the very early stage. We try to take them from the idea stage. At that particular point, we believe that what they need is just a space to work from, some resources include, training, mentoring, coaching, networking with industry players before they can actually be able to refine their ideas. So the NILAB in itself does not offer financial assistance. What we have done is created an ecosystem where we have a list of angel investors and a list of VCs who are able to come over every 3 months to review the ideas that we are presenting to them. And this number of people are able to invest directly into the startups. Of course, other incubators that offer money within the region are also welcome to as well come and pick from our incubator and fund their startups themselves.
Now, just doing some reading on some of the technologies that have sprung out of innovation labs, you've got something called M-Farm, which provides chicken farmers with market prices, and then Pivot East, also building an application for poultry farmers. That's a mobile application where they can check on their brood and their chickens via text message alerts, as opposed to just watching over them all day. So these, of course, are local problems, local issues. Is technology that's coming up really focused on solving local problems, or is it really the creation of new ideas? What's the mix between the two?
Basically, we've encouraged the startups to try and solve problems they're experiencing because they understand those problems much better. Innovation stems from people trying to solve their own problems. In Africa, we don't have a serious gaming problem. Most parts of Africa. If somebody wants to create a gaming solution, they may not have as many players as they would if they did that in the West. So we try to tell them there are a lot of African problems that they can deal with, and they can deal with issues of urbanization, issues of farming, issues of sanitation, issues of transport, and if they can pick any one of those issues, they can actually work with them. So you notice that most of the problems that are being solved are African problems or emerging market problems. And most of the applications developed for emerging markets work very, very well with low-end feature phones, SMS solutions, because then the smartphone penetration is not that high. So expect to see a lot more of solutions being developed to deal with farmers, to deal with the transportation problem, to deal with education, and to deal with other problems that emerging markets are facing. Just to add on to that, most of the...
Do continue, Sam.
To add on to that, most of the problems being solved in Africa can also be applied in South America. I mean, can also be applied in other emerging markets as well. So I guess they're not just applicable for Africa.
And of course, as you say, there's the opportunity to export these ideas and make money as a result of that. So we've talked about Kenya being dubbed the Silicon Savanna. Do you think that as a result of what's taking place right now, Kenya will be able to compete with other silicon hubs like Tel Aviv and Bangladesh?
Well, I have to admit that I like the term Silicon Savanna. It sounds very gisty and very nice. But we're a little bit early in the stages of our development. I mean, just a year ago, I'd have called this, we were infants in technology. This year, at the end of this year, we're looking at ourselves like teenagers. Next year, we'll be dealing with ourselves like young adults, grappling with our successes and failures. So given another 2 to 3 years, Kenya will definitely be able to compete with Tel Aviv and Bangladesh. But basically, that also will have a big influence on how the elections turn out in 2013 and how much attention the government gives the innovation sector and technology-driven services.
Now, I'm seeing an opportunity. Of course, you talk about the application of local applications for emerging markets, economies in Latin America. I mean, is there an opportunity for a company to come in and export these ideas? Is anyone doing that right now?
Yes, there is an opportunity. Haven't seen anybody do that as yet. What we've done is we've traveled across the world, most of us, and we're creating partnerships with other labs and other innovation hubs so that when you launch a solution in Nairobi, you can launch it at the same time in Cape Town, and you can launch it at the same time in Amsterdam, and you can launch it at the same time in a lab in Rio or somewhere else in the world. So the coming year, we'll probably see a lot more of that happening, and because most of the solutions we've seen have also not been very, very well tested for enterprise platforms. So the more solutions we see coming out, well tested and ready for exportation, the more you will see these joint ventures and partnerships across from Africa to Latin America to Eastern Europe and these other parts of the world.